Hello, all Form 2 students. This week, we are going to learn how to connect ideas between sentences. If you have a book with you, please turn to page 32. Page 32. We're going to start now. This is what we are going to learn today. We are going to learn connectives, making comparisons and contrasts, and then some connectives for adding additional points, and also connectives which help us discussing causes and results, and finally some connectives which help us making generalizations. Now let's begin. So let's have a look at this slide. Before today's lesson, I'm sure you have learned about using connectives to link ideas in a sentence. I'm sure you can name some connectives. For example, but, however, and. These are all connectives. Look at this example. Our vegetarian diet may be lacking in protein. This is the first part of this sentence. So, we have a connective here. It is important to eat plenty of beans, tofu, and grains. In this sentence, there are two parts. The first part is here, telling you the cause. And the second part is here, begins from it is. So this part talks about the result. Why are we using so here? We use so to connect a cause and a result in this sentence, because there is a cause and effect relationship between these two parts of this sentence. That's why we use so here. Look at here. We can also connect ideas between sentences. Between sentences. It means that in the sentence, there may be two parts using a variety of linking words or connectives. So we have this example. Now look at this example. We have two different sentences this time. But this time, we are not using the connective so. What are we using? Look at here. We are using therefore. Have a look at this example. Our vegetarian diet may be lacking in protein. Full stop. This is the end of the first sentence. And we have a connective, therefore, comma. It is important to eat plenty of beans, tofu, and grains. You can see that in this example, we are using therefore to connect two sentences, because I'm sure some of you know that therefore is also a connective which helps us link sentences together, describing a cause and effect relationship. Look at here. The cause and result are now presented in two separate sentences using therefore. Now, these are some connectives I'm going to teach you today, and I hope you remember all of them after the end of today's lesson. Let's have a quick look at these examples. First one, To make comparisons, to compare between two things, and contrasts, we use connectives like similarly, however, and on the contrary. To add additional points, don't worry, we're going to have some more examples and exercise very soon. To add additional points, we use in addition, moreover. To discuss causes and results, we have just mentioned some examples, right? Therefore, so here we have some examples like as a result, consequently, and therefore. These are connectives which help discuss these causes and results. How about making generalizations? We can use words like in general, on the whole, and to a great extent. Last one, to sum up, we can use connectives like in short, in conclusion, or to summarize. Maybe some of you, up till now, you still don't understand what's the meaning of generalization or additional point or even comparisons and contrasts. Don't worry. I'm going to talk about them one by one now. First of all, making comparison and contrasts. So what are comparisons? Look at this sentence here. When we make comparison between ideas, people, or things, we can talk about the similarities between them. Comparison means you compare between one thing, two things, and you talk about their similarities. For example, you're a boy, and you want to talk about two girls in your class. And you compare between these two girls, meaning that you're trying to talk about the similarities between them, things which are similar or almost the same. All right, so this is the meaning of comparisons. Look at this example. If you are overweight, avoid wearing horizontal stripes, which make you look bigger. Similarly, is an connective here. Oversized clothes will make you look larger than you are. So this is an example of using using connective similarly. Because the first part of this sentence, or the first part of this paragraph and the second part of this paragraph are similar. The pieces of advice are similar. So what about contrast? So when we contrast ideas, people, or things, we talk about this time not the similarities, but the differences between them. Different things. Look at these examples. The first one, exercising regularly helps us to stay healthy. Full stop. So this is the first sentence. But however, something different. Over exercising may be harmful to our bodies. So you can see that in this sentence, for the first part, we are talking about exercising. But for the second part, we are talking about something different. Over exercising too much. So we are using a connective, however, here, to talk about the difference, not the similarities. Another example, taking diet pills is not necessarily effective. Okay, it's not necessarily effective, but on the contrary, not effective, but it might have side effects. Side effects. When do we use on the contrary? It is often used to disagree with a negative statement. What is a negative statement? You can see here, we have a not here. So this is a negative statement because we have a negator, not here. All right, now let's have a quick look at 3 sentences. Let's do it together. The first one, it is not necessary to use power cleansers on your skin. Third, gentle soaps are best. All right, look at here. Can you see not here? So the answer is on the contrary. We are talking about 2 different things. So we need to use connective, talking about differences. So we use on the contrary. So another hint is that, look at this sentence, the first sentence. Can you see not here? So this is the negator. Do you still remember last slide? We talk about, we use on the contrary to disagree with a negative statement, using not here. So here we have not. So differences, talking about differences. So we use on the contrary. All right. Now let's look at the second sentence. The shape of your face determines what hairstyle will suit you best. All right. Good. Glasses should be chosen according to whether your face is long, round, or heart-shaped. So you have to ask yourself a question, whether the first part of this paragraph and the second part of this paragraph is similar or different. If they are similar, we use similarly because this is a connective talking about the similarities. If they are different, we have to go for a connective talking about differences. So we'll choose however. What's your decision? We'll use similarly. All right, because for the first part and the second part, they are talking about some advice. So they are similar. So we just similarly. Last one, the third one. Social media can have a negative impact on young people's self-image. Third, it is here to stay. It's here to stay. So we can see a contrast here. So this is why we are using connective, however. All right. The second time. So I told you we have finished talking about this one, making comparisons and contrasts. So the next thing we are going to talk about how to add additional points using connective. And this part I think is easier than the first part. Look at here. To build on an idea or add additional points, we can use linking words such as in addition and moreover. All right. Now look at 2 examples here. In this book, the author offers some tips on improving self-confidence. In addition, she presents some strategies on how to dress for success. So we can see in addition here, we use this connective to add an additional point. So this is the first point. The author offers some tips. This is the first point. And the second point, the author also presents some strategies. This is the second point. So we use in addition here. Another example, I never spend money on high-end fashion brands. because I think they are not worth the money. Moreover, the quality is not necessarily better than clothes without labels. So this is the first thing, your first thought. You think that your idea, I never spend money on high-end fashion. The first thing. And the second thing, I also think that the quality is not necessarily better. So you have two thoughts. So this is why we can use moreover to link these two sentences together. Now, let's have a look at here. You may need to pause the video because some of the words here might be difficult. Look at here. A school uniform policy ensures that students are neat and tidy. So we are talking about school uniform policy. Moreover, so in other words, we have to choose a sentence which also talks about school uniform policy or the benefits, the advantage of having a school uniform policy. Now look at these answers together, these options. A, it fosters a sense of equality among students. So it's another benefit, another advantage. Second, it encourages students to express their individuality. The third one, not all students look presentable in their uniforms. So which one will you choose? The answer is A. It fosters a sense of equality among students. We choose this, but not this. Do you know why? Because do you think a school uniform policy will really encourage students to express their individuality? No. But it's opposite. Another way around. It fosters a sense of equality. A matter of meaning. Next example. According to researchers, too little sleep. Maybe some of you are getting too little sleep nowadays because you think that you're on holidays. Because it makes it difficult for teenagers to concentrate and learn well at school. In addition, so we have to find a sentence which also talking about what? Talking about too little sleep, right? Too little sleep. The disadvantage of having, the problem of having too little sleep. So look at the answers here. Possible answers. So A, a lot of teenagers do not get enough sleep, right? Is this another problem? B, it can contribute to mood problems. Maybe. C, not all teenagers need the same amount of sleep. So the answer is quite obvious, which is B, it contributes to mood problems. Because this is the second problem mentioned in the paragraph. And the first problem mentioned is difficult to concentrate and learn well. So this is the first problem mentioned. In this paragraph, two problems are mentioned. So therefore, we use in addition here to link these two sentences. All right. So we're finished. Let's have a look at this line. We're finished the second type already, adding additional points. Now let's talk about discussing causes and results. And I'm sure some of you have learned it before. There are also words that we can use to discuss causes and results. Causes and results, cause and effect relationship. Look at this one. Catherine has been staying up late watching TV. As a result, she's getting pimples on her face and dark circles under her eyes. So the first part here is the cause. Why is she getting pimples on her face and dark circles under her eyes? Why? Why is this result? Why she has this result? Because the cause is here. Catherine has been staying up late watching TV. This is the reason, this is the cause. So therefore, we use as a result this connective to talk about the result. Okay, and another example, look at example 2 here. Some students are overly concerned about their physical appearance. So this is the reason. Maybe you are one of them. You're overly concerned about your physical appearance, then what's the result? What's the result? So we use a connective called consequently. Consequently, to talk about the result. All right? Maybe I am too concerned about my physical appearance, so therefore I decide to, like this one, like them, spend too much time and money on clothes and makeup. Maybe you go to buy a lot of champions because I know a lot of you are wearing champions. So you spend your parents' money to buy champions, or maybe you even go to make up during your holidays, do some makeup. So this is the result. All right, cause and effect relationship. Another example, the third example. Some people develop allergies after using certain skincare products. So this is the result. You have you have allergies. Therefore, this is the reason. This is the reason. Therefore, we use therefore to talk about result. Therefore, we should do some research before buying a new product. This is the result. If you do this, you will not have this cause. You will not have this reason. All right. Let's do some exercise. Here, the first one, we have to connect the sentence using the linking words provided. So in this exercise, in this question, the linking word provided is consequently. But pay attention here, you can see the subjects of both sentences are the same. Celebrities, the celebrities. So we will not mention it twice in the same sentence. We have to use pronoun to connect them. So here is the answer. Look at here. Celebrities spend a lot of money on their appearances. Okay. And consequently, here's the result. Consequently, they set a standard that is really unrealistic for most of us. You can see here, they is the pronoun replacing celebrities. Sorry, here, celebrities. All right. So we put the reason first and the result after consequently. Next example, the linking word we have to use is therefore. First of all, identify which sentence is about the reason. All right, because we have therefore here. After therefore, we have the result. So the sentence talking about the reason comes first, and then therefore, and then the result. Look at here. Limiting your food intake can be unhealthy. It is advisable to speak to a doctor before starting a diet. Which one is the reason? Which one is the result? Obviously, the first part is the reason. Limiting your food intake can be unhealthy, the same. And then we use therefore. You can see a full stop here because it marks the end of the first part. It marks the end of the first sentence. And then we use a connective therefore, comma, the reason, the result. It is advisable to speak to a doctor before starting a diet. All right. So we're finished. Let's see. The fourth part. 2 more parts to go. If you are a little bit tired, you can pause the video and have a rest. All right, let's move on. Next part, making generalizations. So what is a generalization? Look at the definition here. A generalization is a statement about all members of a group that may be true in some or many situations, but is not true in every case. So look at here. I'm highlighting some keywords. May be true in some or many situations, but not true in every case. 大致上啦. All right. So we have 3 examples here. In general, not true in every case, but in general, true in most of the situations, or some situations. In general, boys pay more attention to fashion styles now than before. Before, boys will not pay attention to fashion. They do not want to have a haircut. They will not buy some fashionable clothes, but now they will. So we'll say now, in general, maybe some boys still don't pay attention, but most boys or many boys nowadays are paying attention. So we can use in general. This one, on the whole, we agree that a healthy body is essential to a healthy mind. So maybe not everyone agree, but on the whole, most people agree. So this is why we can use on the whole here. Last example, to a great extent, a lot of teenagers' sense of fashion is heavily influenced by celebrities. A lot of teenagers' sense of fashion is heavily influenced, but maybe there are still some teenagers not influenced by celebrities. All right. So you can see we put connectives talking about generalization at the beginning of the sentence. You see at the beginning, and a comma, and a comma. All right. Look at here. Are linker words and connectives for making generalization used correctly in this sentence? Are they used correctly? Put a tick or cross, you put a cross, explain why, okay? So you just have to think about, first of all, look at the connectives. To a great extent, on the whole, in general, are they familiar? Yes, because look at here, the same. In general, on the whole, to a great extent here, to a great extent, on the whole, in general, they're the same. So they are connectives about generalizations. So you have to think about whether the statement that after the connectives are generalizations, is that really the truth? Is that true in every case, or just some or many cases? Look at here. The first one. Jerry buys a pair of trainers every month. You need to give it a cross because it's not something in general. It's just a general statement. It's something true. Jerry buys a pair of trainers every month. All right. In general, it must be true because it's a fact. It's a fact that Jerry buys a pair of trainers every month. It's a fact. Second sentence. This sentence is not generalization. I just mentioned. The second one, on the whole, teenagers nowadays feel increased pressure regarding their appearance. Teenagers feel increased pressure. Maybe not all of them, some of them. So this is a generalization. Yes. And the last one, in general, designer clothes are too expensive for most teenagers. Is this a generalization? Maybe. Yes. Why? Is this true for every teenager? Maybe not. Maybe some students say, I'm very, very rich and I always buy designer clothes. I don't think designer clothes are expensive. So therefore, we give it a tick because it's a generalization. All right. So we have finished talking about this part, and we are going to talk about the last part now, summing up for conclusion. All right, summing up. Let's have a look at here. Summing up. Finish here. Okay. So similar to connectives making generalization, we put connectives for summing up for conclusion at the beginning of the sentence. Look at the definition here. We can write a sentence to restate the main points of our writing or speak using the linking words below. We put this sentence at the end. All right, the first is the connective here, in short, comma, in conclusion, comma, to summarize, comma. Okay, because you want to restate, look at this right here, restate the main points. All right, restate, to talk about the main points again. So we use this type of connectives, and this is very useful in your writing. Even later when you're in DSE, when you study for DSE, when you write, you also need to use this type of connectives because it's very useful. Okay, so we have to correct this sentence. Okay, here we put it at the beginning and then comma, beginning and comma, beginning and comma. So it's easy. The first one, a comma is missing. In conclusion, comma, never begin a diet without consulting your doctor. Right? The second one, personal style is more important than labels to summarize. We have to put to summarize at the beginning of the sentence, like here. To summarize, personal styles is more important than labels. The last one, in shortly. Did I say in shortly? No, I said in short. In short, comma, positivity is attractive. All right, now let's go back to our book. Please look at page 32 again. In fact, the PowerPoint slides that I showed you, that I talked about, are the same as the ideas here. I've talked about connectives to make comparison and contrast, all right? Add additional points, discuss causes and results, make generalizations, and also to sum up 5 different types of connectives I mentioned just now in my lesson. So if you still don't understand how to use these connectives or the meaning or even the functions of the connectives, please read this page carefully. Or please watch the video again from the very beginning of this video. Because I don't know when the school will reopen. We finished talking about this topic today, and we are not going to talk about it again later when we will have class again. So make sure you understand, you really understand what we are going to tell you, what we told you, what we taught you in this lesson. Now, please turn to page 33. So we have some exercises here. There are, let me have a look. There are some questions, about 10 questions. So please finish it at home if you have the book with you. So we'll check the answers with you later to see whether you really understand how to use these connectives. Okay. All right. So we only have this video this week. So I hope all of you can only focus on this video to learn how to use connectives. And we have one exercise, one assignment for you to finish this week is about type 0 and type 1 conditional sentences. Because we talked about it last week. And this week is time for you to do some exercises. All right. So this is the end of today's video. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and comment your name, your class under this video. And also, if you wish to, you can subscribe to my channel. Okay, so this is the end of this lesson. Thanks for watching. See you this week. Goodbye.